was work? Everything okay?
Gillian, what is it? What's wrong?
Jamie, I've become a junker.
A junker? Gillian, but why?
Jamie, you know why. It's the only way we can regain our lost memories. Snatcher is the only word that keeps coming back every time we try to remember our pasts. I have to face them to find out why.
Yes, but I can sense that there is something terrible hidden in our past. And if we remember it, it will destroy us.
Jamie! I'm going now. Jamie!
What? I can't hear you!
Gillian Seed, estimated age 31. 3 years ago, he and his wife Jamie Seed are taken into protective custody in the Siberian Neutral Zone by the 17th Siberian Investigative Force. Both Gillian and Jamie suffer from severe amnesia. Their memories of events prior to being picked up in Siberia lost in a mysterious mental fog. 2 years ago, after a vain attempt to rebuild their marriage, Jamie and Gillian separate. Following extensive special military training, Gillian is ordered to report to Neo-Kobe City as a junker, effective today.
Effective today. That's right. Whatever. But hey, everybody, we're back for hopefully the finale of Snatcher. Just now I discovered I had this in the wrong category on Twitch. There's one. This is kind of on me because I'm used to playing games that have like 3 followers for that category. And it turns out there's one that's like that, and there's also one that has way more followers. But that's what it is in today. So hopefully, you know, some people see it or not, whatever. It is what it is. Yeah, but we will be hopefully finishing up Snatcher. Last time we left off, we were at the Queen's Hospital, mistaken for Olean Hospital, which is a little bit different. That was a pet hospital. And Katrina was using the shower or something. I don't remember. It was something like that. But hopefully we can wrap this up today. I don't think there's a whole lot of game left. We've gotten probably the 2 big suspects. Well, we got 2 leading suspects, I think, last time. Forget their names. The taxi driver and her husband, or his wife. And they were both snatchers, and we snatched them in the head. But let's go over here. As you can see, we've saved a lot of times. And yeah, let's just get into it. So we were at Olean's, actually Queen's Hospital. Now I'm going to get the walkthrough up, just so that I have a frame of reference. Because I know, you know, this game is pretty obtuse sometimes, to its detriment. Whoa. So you gotta investigate building. Although it is quite aged, it appears to have been adequately maintained. The only entrance appears to be at the front of the building. Then it is investigate building and then door. Door is locked. But even I can open a mechanism this simple, Middle Gear said. Don't set off any burglar alarms or anything. Alright, we're not going to read everything, because that'll just add 8 hours to the playthrough. Much as I would love to. And then I guess we could just move. Go inside. lock disabled. Also, on Twitch, this categorizes as a visual novel, which is both true and untrue. I mean, it's... visual novel? I mean, it is, and it also isn't. There's like, you shoot a shoot gun. There's some kind of switches here. Switches. Look at this. It says door control 1, 2, 3. Use. I misread that it swatches, it switches. Alright, let's go to door 3. Obviously, the important thing is door 3. I have a special light installed. Use the turn on the limo gear. Oh my, these boxes are from outer heaven. Seems to be quite the popular spots for Snatchers. Well, of course, it has a keyboard attached to it too. Uh-oh. Moscow again. Now, what's it doing here? What it doing here? Cathedral of Saint Basil. It was in Moscow before the catastrophe. I seem to have memories, but I don't know what memories are. Yeah, what's with Snatchers in Moscow? Why are they weirdly patriotic to Moscow? Completely ordinary vase? I don't think so. Obviously, there's a Snatcher hidden in it. Where's the least place you're gonna put a Snatcher? In a vase. They'll never see that coming.
There seems to be a scrap of paper caught between these two drawers. The others are empty. It appears that someone tried to straighten up in a hurry.
Ooh.
Let me see that paper.
Here it is.
What? What is this? It looks like Chinese or something. Metal translated.
Okay, let's see. Patient record, first examination.
Oh, this puzzle.
I'm not familiar with the next 5 characters. It's the first time I've ever seen any of them.
I thought you were supposed to be really good at Chinese.
My strongest areas are in chop suey, egg foo young, and wontons.
Rare Chinese characters. Or maybe some kind of code? At any rate, this is definitely part of someone's chart. If we can figure out these characters, we may be able to uncover another Snatcher.
What do you suppose happened to the other records?
Looks like someone cleaned them out of here. Maybe they knew we were coming.
Somehow I get the feeling that the Snatchers know what we're up to.
Yeah, those Snatchers always know
I'll store
what
the
we're up
fragment of
to.
the file.
Okay. So now we want to apparently, actually no, we should just leave. Now we call, oh, all we do is save. All right, we'll exit. Now, yes, now we'll be able to. It's weird that it keeps track of your saves. Like maybe there's a lot of like things that this game will keep track of. Like if you use the video phone in front of Mika, the receptionist, she'll comment on it like, "Oh, is that your wife?" Ugh. So it wouldn't surprise me if you went through the whole game without saving. That they'll be like, "Whoa, you haven't saved at all. You're crazy." Okay. So apparently we want to call. Yeah, I think we got everything. Calling 39564.
The number you have reached is not in service at this time. Please check the number and dial again. This is a recording. JT&T Neo Kobe.
Got the phone number right. Yeah, the Snatchers are up to it. Those Looney Tune ass Snatchers. Yeah, it's the doorman at Outer Heaven. But if we just dial a random number like
The number you have reached is not in service at this time.
this is what it actually should be.
Dial again. This is a recording. JT&T Neo Kobe.
Oh, shit, it's Snatcher. That's right, Grando. Welcome. Don't call. Not exit, just don't call. Alright, head into the Turbo Cycle. Me and Gulu got rolled on Night Rain today. Oof. What happened? We were really close to beating the Night Lord on Friday, but we just had some bad luck. We had some decent players. It's just that, you know, we just didn't get any good gear for some of those. Outer Heaven. Had the worst rando possibly ever. Wow. It would have been more useful if you just went AFK. I wonder what happens if they leave the game, like if they just shut it down. Because they'll come back in later. If they just shut it down, will it scale down the 2 players? I know it scales down to solo. I don't know if it scales down to 2 though. Yeah, he doesn't know anyone named Napoleon. Them beats, yeah. This game's got some bangers. The investigation theme, like when you're like on the case, probably one of the best ever. Good thinking music. I had several people who watched my Sort of So Damn playthrough-ish was told I don't talk enough. I think it just depends. Also, if you're playing a game like that requires a lot of concentration, you might talk less. Were you able to finish it? If you're able to finish Sword of Sodan, props. That last boss is not easy. They do not know how much focus Sword of Sodan takes. It was funny, I got a comment today. Got the last level but died at the start. Oh, that's rough, yeah. I got a comment today where someone was like, it was in response to my Pantheon Ranger video guide, and he was like, they switch automatically from melee from range to melee, and I can't just focus on being a melee person. This is bull honky. What a terrible MMO. It's like, okay. I mean, that's how the game is. Count your MMO blessings, young blood. We know of MMOs without magic. I will count my blessings.
Have a seat, Gillian. We're safer in a crowded place like this.
Jeez, you really had me fooled. 2 roles in 1.
Gesundheit.
Well, you know, you gotta understand.
Does he have
Being
boobs?
an informer isn't exactly the safest job on the planet, you know. That's why it's important to be a master of disguise, like me.
Yeah, but I feel pretty stupid. I mean, all that time I was asking you about where Jean went, I didn't realize I was asking someone who actually worked there.
Hey, I was just as surprised as you were. But I didn't know that Gibson had been here. You see, I wasn't working that day.
Anyhow, it's not masquerade night today. Why don't you take that mask off, Napoleon? It's a little unnerving sitting here talking to a wolf.
All right. I suppose there's no harm there. Boy, you really work up a sweat in these full-face masks.
Oh, boy. Maybe you should have left that on.
What? Still, you did a nice job of figuring out who I was.
Come on, Napoleon. That stupid phone recording with the wolf man? JT&T would never do anything that tasteless. Besides, what really tipped me off was that constant sneezing of yours.
Sneezes, eh? Well, listen, you want me to tell you why I'm called Napoleon?
Because winter gets the best of you. Napoleon Bonaparte sent his enormous army into Russia in 1812, but suffered a major defeat because of the snow.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, the sneezing isn't a cold. It's my allergy to Snow 9 pollen. So, anyhow, what did you want to know?
I've got a couple of questions to ask you.
Fire away.
Oh, he's Chinese. So that means we can figure out what those Chinese characters are. Patient record. Yeah, what does that mean? Snatch Civ 5? Maybe Drac. Welcome. Speaking of Civ 5, I am working on a video that does mention Civ 5. In passing. But that's nowhere near getting close to done. Yeah, what's this coat? Beryllium, nitrogen, sulfur, oxygen. I've got it. Infer. Listen, this is what the guide said.
So
Does Brad
that's
McQuaid
it.
mention
Benson.
Civ 5?
Beryllium is Be, nitrogen is N, sulfur is S, and oxygen is O. And another N makes Benson. The name Benson was encoded on this file.
Benson. I sure hope it is not referring to the chief, Benson Cunningham.
Or to our friendly engineer, Mr. Harry Benson.
Uh-oh.
No, that couldn't be. No way.
But the possibility, though remote, does exist.
Metal,
Not 0%
I
chance.
want you to cut off all your data transmissions to headquarters now.
That's how they
Understood.
fucking
Now
know.
disabling automatic
Those
transmission
fucking
routine.
snatchers. We're on to you
No
now.
further data transmissions to headquarters will be executed.
My God. A Snatcher in Junker headquarters? We've got to get there quick. Let's go, Metal.
See you later, Junker. Today's little information tidbit is on me. Now take care, Gillian. Don't get yourself taken out by some snatcher. I think I'll lay low for a while.
Does Brad McQuaid mention
After
Civ
all,
5?
You are my
That's the
main
winner
source
right
of
there.
income.
You be
I've
careful
decided
too,
not to do that
Napoleon.
video.
You get killed and you won't be able to sneeze anymore.
Because there's
What's
already
that,
so many
Boss Man?
crazies out there that I
See
feel
you,
like
Napoleon.
talking about
Metal,
Brad's
let's go.
vision is pretty much just going to bring all the EverQuest crazies out. And I want to minimize EverQuest crazies. You know, like, you know, someone who thinks that anyone who played on Teal, Project 99 Teal, is a baby or a Care Bear or both. I mean, maybe I'll come back to it on some. All they can do is multi-bot shoot to death. Oh, you didn't hear the story. Basically, long story short, this guy, he went on Rewind. He went on Rewind and just was like, "This game is this game is dead. You're stupid." And I told him, you know, that he was kind of toxic and that Pantheon kind of lives rent-free in his head. And then he found the Discord through some links and sent me a message and told me to go unalive myself. And I feel like talking about Brad McQuaid's vision is probably going to bring out more of those people. Is this Pantheon? Sure. You could pretend this is Pantheon. Some would call that feedback. I mean, it wasn't my video. I mean, I was on it. I read like at the beginning. It's not really quote unquote my video. All right, where am I going? Oh yeah, we gotta go to Junker HQ. But the guy, I'm pretty sure I got that guy's account banned. He had a Discord account that was like from 2019. And if you just send someone a message like that, I'm just gonna report you. And I'm pretty sure he got banned. All right. Hi, Gillian. How was your day? Oh, they're out. I've had people send me how do I even say that on YouTube? Executable videos on Discord. Get on my level. Damn. You know what? I guess you're right. Guess I'm a little baby. I mean, I wasn't like flustered or mad. I was just like, really, dude? You doing this? All right. Same thing with that guy who was mad that it auto switched from range to melee. It's like, alright, you want to be ranger that only shoots bow? Be my guest. I guess I have to ask Mika about some stuff first. Ask about Harry. I'll try to get people less upset if I get more subs, I suppose. You were pretty mad? I mean, maybe I was pretty mad, you're right. Wait a minute, it's... Ask about, oh, Harry. Or about Harry's condition. I was just amazed that guy went out of his way to do something like that. Oh no, he's going to the Kyoto summit. Probably trying to pass some laws that actually Snatchers are rad and you should let them do what they want to do. And then we have to ask about the summit. The annual summit of the world's most advanced countries and leaders will be taking place in Kyoto. Okay, now we go to the engineering room. I would have missed all that. And then I would have fumbled around here for 8 hours. Desk, space, top. Not a desktop, on a computer. Very different. Face to Face. The movie? It's a fine line, yeah. It is a fine line. I should put the White House's address on every stream to invite trolls to. I feel like it's like, you know how people have been rickrolled so many times that they just know what the URL for YouTube's link is? It'd probably be similar. 2? 121? I2I? Or just a 2 button? I don't know what you mean. Harry's the only one in the headquarters who smokes. Harry might be a Snatcher. Yeah, let's hang on those matches. Listen, we'll get more. Listen, I know we already have a pair of these matches, but we could have double the amount of matches. Hang on that memo. And now we go to the chief's office. Things are coming to a boiling point. This is the chief's office, not in on the moment. So both of them are out. Look. Picture. Investigate. Picture. I thought it was just a picture of a vase, but if you reverse the background and the drawing, it's two faces. Can't see my cursor, but two faces right there in the center. That's how to use negative space. Also, I don't know why this came up to me, but an article about Snatcher came up, and it was basically like, yeah, the development of Snatcher was quote-unquote grueling on Kojima, and he developed an ulcer, which is hilarious, because that's like a whole point of this game is, Gibson? Is it Gibson? The guy who dies at the very beginning? He had an ulcer, and then he eats buffalo to make sure that his trail to outer heaven is noticed. Spoilers, it happens in the first, 10, 20 minutes of the game. It's a photograph. Let's look at the photo. Let's look at the photo. I've seen this somewhere, but I just can't recall. Everything's 50 years old. Why is everything 50 years old? Snatchers, that's why. I found it. It's funny, back in the 80s, having a computer that would be able to just quickly look at and research, quickly see a photo and be like, oh, that's actually this photo from here. And we have that now. It's called Google Images. You just literally go to Google Images and you say, hey, what looks like this picture? And then it'd be like, oh, actually this is from this. Unless it's like family photos, then it wouldn't know. Red Square. What's a picture like that doing in the chief's office? Oh, he's the Snatcher. Yeah, storing the video memory. Yep. Which one is a Snatcher? They're both suspicious. Whatever, override 1. Because I'm too lazy to move this slot too. But why? Why is that there? Why would he have a picture like that there? Do Snatchers use the photos for, calibration purposes? Why would you have that there? It doesn't make any sense. Sorry, never mind. I should just... Let's go to the front. Yeah, let's get the fuck out of here. Oh, I guess I didn't search it hard enough. Did I miss something? Matches, memo, picture. Just didn't investigate the picture hard enough. Yeah, why is the picture there? Maybe I didn't ask where his whereabouts were. Maybe that's why I can't leave. Yeah, let's exit. There we go. Okay, we just had to ask more harder.
Gillian, it's me, Jamie. Listen carefully. You know that Queens Hospital? I found out that they undertook a major expansion project in 2035 to put in a basement. That's right, they have a basement. Basement construction is really unusual here in New York.
You know it's getting good when the music is this good.
Records of it. But there's more. The director of that hospital, Chin Shu Ho, has had his license suspended in the past for performing eugenics experiments at an illicit underground facility.
Are you telling me Queens has underground treatment facilities?
That has to be it, Gillian. Chin Shu Ho is performing skin operations on Snatchers underground.
And that means that Chin himself is also probably a Snatcher. Or rather, the real Chin, the original Chin, was snatched.
So, that entire ground-level complex is just a front for the underground facilities.
And if we hit that hospital, we can ruin the Snatchers' plans. Well, this is it, Metal. We're heading right into the enemy's headquarters this time.
Yeah.
Gillian?
Yeah?
This sounds really dangerous. I just wanted you to know, I want you to come home safe.
Jamie.
The reason I left you is because I thought you were pushing yourself too hard, being self-destructive. And it seemed like the wedding ring you were wearing when they found us had become a tremendous burden on you. I didn't want that to be the only reason we stayed together.
Oh, Jamie, I never felt that way at all.
I'll be waiting for you. We may not have our memories, but you are the only one I've ever shared any time with. Be careful, Gillian.
Jamie.
Wife acquired.
Are you all right, Gillian?
Yeah. All right, Metal, let's go. We have to pay a visit to Queen's Hospital. Her Majesty is waiting.
Queen's Hospital. Let's go. It's going longer than it normally does.
Just where do you think you're going?
This is most unusual. The turbo cycle seems to be out of control.
Switch over to manual. I'll take over.
Understood. I've switched to manual control. Well, how is it?
What the? We've got no brakes! Metal, check the brake system out. Pronto!
Sorry, Gillian. Looks like sabotage. No doubt the Snatcher's handiwork.
Sabotage? But the only one who could work on the turbo cycle...
Worry about that later. Gillian, we've got to do something quickly.
And a good morning to you, my friend. Bud Miller with you here on the big 90.7. Looks like we're gonna have a bright...
It was the afterburner. Pressing the shiny red buttons. That's right. Hey, no username. Oh no! Now we're going even faster. 200. Hold on, how fast is that? 200 miles per hour. That's 124 miles an hour. That's fast.
What else can we do? Metal, start punching buttons.
Any buttons at all?
Yes, push anything.
Gillian, this doesn't seem to be doing any good.
Damn, I was sure that would work.
Gillian, the road makes a sharp right turn just 1,500 meters ahead. At this speed, we'll never make it. Gillian! Gillian!
Hey, Gillian! Huh? Over here! What's that? Gillian, over here! Random! Gillian, you gotta jump over to my bike! Hurry!
Why? Wait.
We reach the curve.
Why is this a highway? I thought this was a flying car.
Move your butt! That curve's just ahead!
Understood. 1, 2, 3!
All right, Gillian, now it's your turn. Keep her steady.
300 meters until you reach the curve.
Gillian, jump! I can't! My timing's off!
150 meters.
Gillian, now!
70 meters.
Now, Gillian, now!
Oh, we're too late!
I noticed it's the same explosion from the fireworks at the beginning.
I guess he didn't make it. Don't bury me so fast. I'm right here. Don't you even know how to ride a motorcycle?
It's the stupidest motorcycle I've ever seen. Or unicycle.
You could probably use the exercise anyway. Why don't we just continue the rest of the way like this?
We've arrived at Queen's Hospital.
So, this is the place, huh? Random, are you sure you know what you're doing? This isn't going to be a field trip, you know. We may not come back.
And the bounty for this one will more than make up for it.
If you're around to spend it, that is.
Gillian, let's get going.
I think there's a legit motor unicycle like that in the real world. I mean, there's also like a tiny car called the P50 Peel, which is like, you know, that like Duplo car that you have when you were 2 years old. It's like that, except, you know, actually has a motor in it. Doesn't mean, hold on, I'm gonna look it up. Motor unicycle. I'll be damned. That's pretty close to what he's driving. When was this posted? 2014. I'll get this up on the screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about. There, that thing. Pretty close to what he's actually using. Doesn't mean I think it's good though. I think it's dumb. There's also a lot of big Uno motorcycles that are just a big wheel, like a penny farthing, one of those things. I wouldn't say New Colossus had a lot of them. Did we ever go in door 2? What's in door 2? Room 2, research lab. Yeah, okay. Something like that, but a singular wheel. It takes a lot of confidence to ride a penny farthing. That's fine. Face to face doesn't look like the picture on the wall. Dun dun dun. A shaft.
This apparently leads down to a lower level.
It looks like Jamie was right. Queen's Hospital does have a basement.
And that basement is the Snatcher's main lair. Out of the frying pan and into the fire, as they say. Well, what do we do now, Gillian?
I keep expecting us to find the decapitated body with a note, check the house, then I remember that might have been a different game. No, that's this game. That happened at the very beginning. That's, Gibson? No, not Gibson. Gibson? Benson. Benson's the potential snatcher. Alright, descend the stairs.
It's a very narrow stairway.
This is actually pretty far into the
Okay,
game.
Who's going to take the point?
That's obvious. The guy with the light.
Hey, that's not fair.
Really, Fallout 3 has a reference to it? Interesting. I must have missed that.
Well, well, what do we have here?
It's the hospital corridor.
It's the same hallway, but not the one that's on the first floor.
So what does that mean?
An entire floor of Queen's Hospital has been duplicated underground.
So the same floor is both upstairs and downstairs, sort of like parallel worlds.
So that desolate setup upstairs is all just a smokescreen. They're making it look like the place is closed down, but in reality, they're keeping themselves quite busy.
Gillian, that means we're already right in the middle of their headquarters. Please use extreme caution.
Fallout 3 also has a great note that you can find. It's called, like, fuck you. And it's just like, the note basically says something along the lines of, I did too much jet, I'm gonna die, fuck this world, you can take whatever mentats I have by. That's like the note. Unlike the first floor, there's only 2 doors switches. Yes, you find the corpse of Gibson, his body posed as it was in Snatcher. On his body is a small replica house. Small replica house located in the Gibson house, located in Minefield. Bet you that's on the wiki. Fallout 3 Gibson. And yeah, there you go. Right there. Just like that. Yeah, and that's literally it. It just says search the house and he has a key on him. Just like in the game. And I mean, New Vegas too. New Vegas had a fair amount of references. Up there is the infamous what was it? Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull, and you find a skeleton in a refrigerator with a Indiana Jones hat on it. Okay, I guess I just have to look at everything. X-ray devices, monitors. And they just got MRI scanners? Wait a minute, wouldn't MRI scanners not work with Snatchers because they're made out of metal? Watch, it's like some... not... Oh, someone was just there not that long ago. Because I thought... didn't MRI use like magnets or something? I don't know, I'm not a doctor, but... all I know is I saw a shirt where... he had metal. Someone had like metal stuck in them, and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna go get an MRI," and they're like, "That'll get it out of you real quick." Well, the drugs from this could knock out a guy. Oh, you already looked at everything. Okay. Look at those eyes bobbling. I didn't think Crystal Skull was bad as a kid. Now I view it differently. Yeah. I definitely. I only really saw like the first Indiana Jones when I was younger, and didn't really see many of the other ones. It was just one of those things where, you know, I just didn't see that many movies, especially later on by Indiana Jones. I did see the majority of the Star Wars movies, and definitely the first time I saw episode 7, whatever the hell it's called, I forget the names. Like, I thought it was okay. I was like, yeah, it's, you know, it's a follow-up. But man, 8 was so bad. I walked out of that like, people like this? And I have a friend who claims that's one of his favorite movies, is episode 9. Where he just took all the stuff about Rey's parents and threw it out the door. I have to investigate everything in here too. Let's see. Oh boy. Listen, I don't need the whole fucking analysis about what kind of body parts these are. That was so long. Investigate shelf. Might have done. I already investigated the containers. Antibodies. I know what antibodies are. Shut up. Healing. The Disney sequels made everyone turn around and act as if the prequels were good, which is hilarious. Have you heard that whole theory about how Jar Jar Binks was supposed to be a Sith Lord the whole time, but he was so hated that they had to do a 180 and make like someone else the Sith Lord? But like episode 3 is not bad. 1 and 2 are pretty rough, and especially in some parts. But 3's not bad, you know. It's got a lot of action. It's got good moments. Investigate switches. You gotta keep investigating them. Not the doors. The switches. I remember hearing it and finding it funny, and then Lego came and decided to make it a thing. And once the company plays in the meme, it loses its funny. I think it could have been good if, it's just that they made Jar Jar Binks way too annoying in the first one. If they toned down the annoyingness of it, I feel like it might have worked out. But he's so annoying that it just wouldn't have worked out in the long run. Yeah, we'll move to 2. I probably have to look at everything twice as hard. Why? Because I didn't smell. Okay. Let's see if that was enough. I'm pretty sure I did everything else. Alright, I guess I didn't go through all my options. I'm pretty sure I did everything in here but talk and smell. I probably didn't look as hard in room 2 either. 'Cause you gotta fucking do everything. That's how these games are. You gotta do everything. Gotta find the one that doesn't take 20 fucking eyes. This one probably takes that. Okay. Alright, let's try it now. I have to look at, maybe I have to look at door 3. It's like, I know what the solution is, but I didn't do it the way the game wanted me to do it. Misa Jar Jar Binks. Misa never leave these posts. Jar Jar Binks after being stationed on the Russian front, failing to stop Indiana Jones from stealing the artifacts from the not space seas. Hope YouTube didn't memory hold that comment. I don't think so. Listen, they just don't see very well. That's what they are. They just need some eyeglasses. There's nothing wrong with them. Maybe if I use switches, I'm gonna close 1 and 2, and I investigate the switches. No, the switches. I'm gonna look at everything, game. God forbid I miss one little thing. Yeah, can you imagine Snatchers waxing and using MRIs even though they're made out of metal? But watch, it's like, actually it's polymer, advanced polymer science. Sure, I missed something in door 2. Science, Marvel, words, numbers, science, exactly. Argon lasers. Those exist, probably. Fortunately, I got stuff coming tomorrow, so I gotta go to bed. Good night, Kalashar. Have a good one, no username. Good seeing you. See you whenever I do see you again. Hopefully we'll be past the puzzle of figuring out how to press 2 switches at the same fucking time. Why don't we check out the other rooms? Okay. Do we have to look over? That's what's missing. That's what we missed. Uh-oh, skeleton's gone. Oh shit, get rid of the fire.
Did I get it?
The Snatchers' functions have been terminated. There's no doubt now that this is their maintenance facility. This one was probably still waiting to get its artificial skin installed.
So this is what they really look like, huh?
Yeah, that's the scariest thing about them. You can't tell them from real people once they've got that skin on.
Yeah, that
Perhaps
stupid
that's
skin.
humanity's great weakness. We're always judging books by their cover.
And it's just that human weakness that they're out to take advantage of.
All right, Random. Metal, let's go. The HQ's junk squad can take care of him later. We've got an investigation to do.
Now he's got the goop. The green gack.
Impressive! Looks like I misjudged you, Junker.
Now we can... Now can I look at the switches and figure it out? There we go. Thank you.
All right, let's try pushing both buttons simultaneously.
The two buttons are on opposite panels, so there's no way one person can push them both alone. But if two of us work together, it might do it.
Yeah.
That's it, Gillian. It makes perfect sense. It's the same system they used to use in nuclear missile silos in the late 20th century. Eliminates the risk of one man going nuts and acting alone.
Well, it's hard to be sure, but let's give it a try anyway.
Yeah.
I've got button 1. Random, you push number 2. You ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Come on!
You did it! Door number 3 opened.
With
Hell
safety
yeah.
measures like that, they must have had a good reason for wanting to keep it closed.
Good God!
I read 4 human skeletons in this room.
It's their morgue.
Perhaps victims of the Snatchers?
Well, it doesn't look like whoever put them here was too worried about making sure they would rest in peace.
No, it doesn't. These have got to be their victims.
This is probably where they hide the bodies of the originals they snatch from places like Outer Heaven.
They probably picked Outer Heaven because it gets a lot of VIP traffic. Plus, during masquerade time, they could work the place and still keep their identities secret.
Yeah, and the guy who set up the link between them and Outer Heaven was Freddy, that taxi driver. They must have gone after him.
Yeah, Lisa
not
and Freddy,
because
those are
who he
two of
was,
them.
But what he did. After all, with a taxi, there's plenty of chances to milk your customers for information. That's probably how they learned about Outer Heaven and Plato's Cavern.
I've been wondering what they had done with the bodies.
Want to hide a book? What better place than the library? Need to hide a body? How about the morgue?
And for them, keeping the bodies hidden is crucial. I mean, if somebody who's supposed to be dead is out walking the streets, it wouldn't be too hard to figure out that something screwy is going on.
That means that if we can figure out who these bodies were, then we've just nailed
Well,
4
Metal Gear, do your
Snatchers.
science, do your magical whatever science. Hmm. 4 months. You don't know about the death. Probably just have to look at them real hard. Ventilation duct, that could be useful. Here we go. Cause of death. Identity. That's the big one. We gotta figure out who these people were. Yeah, just do that. Yeah, reconstruct the corpse.
Now performing simulated reconstruction of the head and facial features of each of the 4 victims. Commencing with victim number 1.
Hell
Now
yeah.
performing
Investigate.
craniometric analysis. X-ray and sagittal X-ray, magnetic resonance imaging, and positron CT data gathered. Complete cranial data now
Time to
being compiled.
investigate.
Craniometric analysis complete. Now commencing reconstruction. First, victim's age. Estimate based on 1. Presence or absence of cranial fontanelles and chroma of epicranial sutures.
Crazy you can figure out a lot
2.
with actual
Area of facial
skulls.
region and cranium.
So this isn't that
3.
far
Height
off,
of
but it
upper
is
and
kind
lower
of
jaw
far off.
And development of alveolar part. And 4. Location of cranial center of gravity. Next, victim's sex. Estimate based on 1. Overall size of cranium. 2. Parietal bone angle. And 3. Development of splachocranium.
Well, couldn't you
Lastly,
tell the sex
victim's
by
race.
the pelvis
Estimate
bones?
based on 1.
Like, aren't they
Overall
different?
cranial configuration. 2. Volume of intercranial cavity. And 3. Mass of the skull. Now commencing soft feature reconstruction based on average results of above analysis. Reconstructing. Initial phase completed. Margin of error on estimate of victim's race 10% based on use of average values. Now adding postulated hair and eye features. Reconstruction of head of first victim completed.
It's Freddie Nielsen.
Moving on to second victim. Now commencing reconstruction of features of victim number 2. Now starting craniometric analysis. Complete cranial data now being compiled using the same techniques as the previous reconstruction. Craniometric analysis complete. Now commencing reconstruction using the same techniques as the previous reconstruction. Reconstructing. Initial phase completed. Margin of error on estimate of victim's race 10% based on use of average
And
values.
this is obviously
Now
Lisa.
adding postulated hair and eye features.
Unless it's a very
Reconstruction of head of
feminine
second victim
man.
completed.
That's Lisa Nielsen.
Moving on to third victim. Now commencing reconstruction of features of victim number 3. Now starting craniometric analysis. Complete cranial data now being compiled using the same techniques as the previous reconstruction. Craniometric analysis complete. Now commencing reconstruction using the same techniques as the previous reconstruction. Reconstructing. Initial phase completed. Margin of error on estimate of victim's race 10% based on use of average values. Now adding postulated hair and eye features. Reconstruction of head of third victim completed.
Who in the world is that?
That's the director of Queen's Hospital, Shin Fui, what's his face,
Chin-Shu-Oh, Gillian. Moving on to last victim. Now commencing reconstruction of features of victim number 4.
This one's the most recent. It's still decomposing.
Now starting craniometric analysis. Complete cranial data now being compiled using the same techniques as the previous reconstruction. Craniometric analysis complete. Now commencing reconstruction using the same techniques as the previous reconstruction.
So who was the Snatcher we just killed?
Reconstructing. Initial phase completed. Margin
Was
of
that the
error on
doctor?
estimate of victim's race 10% based on use of averaged values. Now adding postulated hair and eye features. Reconstruction of head of final victim completed.
It's the Chief!
What?
The Chief is a Snatcher! The Benson on the scrap of that patient record was Benson Cunningham.
Judging from the condition of the body, I would estimate that the snatching took place approximately 1 month ago.
So it was the Chief who sabotaged our turbocycle. In those matches we found in Harry's room, the Chief must have put them there to try to set him up.
No doubt Harry figured it out and decided to leave that face-to-face message. Wait a minute. Didn't Mika say that Harry had left to go find the Chief?
That's right. He was probably trying to track down some evidence on the Chief.
Gillian, I'd say that this Harry has put himself in a pretty dangerous spot.
If it was the Chief that sabotaged the turbocycle, doesn't that mean that he already knows we're onto him?
I mean, he does.
Harry and Mika are in danger.
That's far enough, Junker. Your little investigation is over.
It's them!
Who? Snatchers?
Get them!
My arm! I can't reach my blaster! I'm hit in the leg!
Is that the best you can do, Junker?
Who's there? Chin-Shu-Oh, you scum!
Or maybe those
Seems you
Snatchers
still
were
have
just
some
there
fight left in
for when
you.
they're ready to switch.
You two are finished, but our plans move forward. We are now entering phase 2. And when we do, not only this city, but the entire world will be ours to command.
Phase 2? What are you talking about?
As you know, our operations have been hindered up to now by the flaws in our artificial skin. The skin's shortcomings have kept us away from ultraviolet rays, forcing us to do our work at night, underground, or in the winter. In the end, we had to construct a hospital like this, all because of the flaws in our artificial skin. This was the only difference.
You know,
between
that sounds
us
a lot like
and
freaking
you
Liquid
humans.
Snake in Metal Gear Solid 1.
But now we have broken this barrier.
Huh?
We are on the verge of developing a perfect artificial skin, thanks to the cooperation of a new partner in our plan.
Perfect artificial skin? A new partner?
Someone
Once
said
we
Civilization
have
and
the
Brad
new
McQuaid
skin,
and Summoned Me
nothing
from
will be
Hell.
able to stop us. And with
They just
that,
didn't play that
our
game.
plan moves to phase 2.
Well, I have bad news
Our
for you.
little experiment in this city will
You will
end,
get neither
and
right
we'll
now.
move in force to take over the world.
Don't be so sure. You won't get out of the city that easy.
You humans are always so overconfident, so naive.
What are you talking about?
I'm sure you're aware that the Kyoto Summit, being held to decide how to handle the Snatcher problem, opens tomorrow.
Metal, is that right?
Yes. Countries around the world are concerned about the Snatcher problem. It will be one of the main topics discussed at this year's summit.
That's right. Tomorrow, we attack the summit.
You must be crazy. The security there will be incredible. You won't even get close.
Must I explain everything to you, Junker? Aren't you even aware that a fellow
I feel like I didn't even have a
Junker will be
rewind without a
giving
weekend,
special
or a
presentation
weekend without a
at the
rewind.
summit?
I'm sure Drac appreciates that. Just
So
like
that's why
they
you
played it in the game.
snatched him.
We've known that your chief would be speaking at the summit for over 3 months now.
Gillian, the summit
But
is
hey, they
tomorrow.
hit 200.
We have to hurry.
Listen, we have your chief. You Junkers are at our mercy, and so is this city.
But your chief is
And
dead.
tomorrow, we move
Or our
on
chief
the
is dead.
world. Nothing can stop us now. We will finally achieve our long-awaited goal of
200 and retired,
domination.
wealthy and insane.
Who is this we
Only
you keep
one of those
talking
things is
about?
true.
We are an evolved life form, given life in the depths of the Kremlin by our creator, Modnar. We are a new race.
Modnar?
Modnar? The Kremlin? Those names are familiar, but
Our goal is to snatch all of the world's leaders and then achieve total control of human thought and worldwide racial unification.
you're insane. Humanity won't be so easily dominated. You underestimate the strength of the human spirit.
I think not. In the same way as
I mean,
the
it's hard to
Nazis,
call it a
our
race when it's
strategy
just
begins
robots.
with the overpowering of the
Are
spirit of
robots
the
a
people.
race? I don't think
We
so.
will strike at you humans' weakest point, the most primitive part of your psychological makeup.
Sorry to let you
Your
down. Play
suspiciousness
Pantheon
and
all day
fear.
tomorrow and make it to
By
Ash
provoking
Breathers for the
suspicion
After Dark
and
to make it up to
mistrust
you. Well,
throughout the populace, we will destroy
I mean, you
that
can wish for a
fragile
unicorn
fabric
too.
which holds your society together.
They're
That
trying.
Of trust.
They are trying.
Fear is you humans' weak point. It is the primitive part of your brains that binds you forever to your
hell
animal
yeah.
ancestors.
That sting.
And makes you vulnerable. By stimulating that part of your atavistic instincts, our plan can succeed magnificently.
Gillian, at this rate, they'll kill us all. You've got to get out alive. You're a junker.
Just what do you have in mind?
I've got a big fireworks show ready for them. Better that than get snatched.
What? You're gonna blow yourself up? No, we're better off fighting together.
Hey, it won't work. I'm hit in the thigh. Ow, oh, damn. A bounty hunter can't do anything with a leg wound like this. I might as well have been shot in the head.
There must be some way out of here.
Hey, I wasn't doing this job just for fun. I stayed ready for situations like this. I've always been prepared to go out with a bang.
It's December. A little late for fireworks.
So it'll be an off-season show.
No, I can't let you.
My belt's packed with TNT PX. You know, that really strong stuff they use in the mines on Mars. One push, and this
Ooh,
whole
it's
hospital
PX.
will go. No trouble at all. No time to sit around thinking, Junker boy. Go! What are you doing? Get your butt moving, you fool! Get out through this air shaft. I've got a powerful strobe on me. Its flash will screw up their sensors long enough for you to get out.
Why you guys
And believe
talking
me,
like that?
Fireworks are better from a distance.
I didn't give you permission to talk.
Are you two finished chatting? Then I think it's time for you to die. We're quite busy, you know.
You ready? When I give the signal, break into the air shaft and run. And don't forget your blaster.
Metal, stay with me.
Yes, sir.
Random.
Gillian! Doesn't look like I'm gonna have a chance to call in that debt you owe me.
Don't worry. I'll pay it back to the Snatchers with interest.
With
All right,
interest.
go! Run, Gillian!
Metal, are you okay?
I'm
Metal, something broken?
Okay, but it appears that language circuits have been damaged somewhat.
What happened?
Random blew himself up after getting us into this air shaft.
Random.
Not okay, yeah.
Gillian, that explosion should have taken all of Queen's Hospital with it.
Is this a Cortana
Thick walls
prototype?
of this duct must have shielded us from enough of the blast. If it wasn't for Random,
He's a little companion that follows you around and helps you unlock doors and use flashlights.
Gillian, we have no time for grief now. We must get back to Junker headquarters as quickly as possible. Harry and Mika are in danger.
Drac.
You're right. And
Do you think Cortana is related to Portal?
We have to figure out how
Because
to
I
get
don't
out
think
of
it
here.
is. I think it's Halo.
What should we do?
I don't see that. I made the next leap. I mean, I guess. I mean, they're both computers.
Subscribe to my channel.
Drac with 6 months on a 2 month streak, saying boo yeah. He has subscribed to my channel. Thank you, Drac, for subscribing to my channel. Since you subscribed to the channel, I will find a passage from the hit book Shit My Dad Says. I'm just gonna go to a random page. On Furnishings One's Home, this is very similar. This is pretty much what you've been doing all the time. Pick your furniture like you pick your wife. It should make you feel comfortable and look nice, but not so nice that if someone walks past it, they want to steal it. There you go. What are you gonna do? And am I coming back? I mean, someday. Like, I just don't have the drive like I had. That's my problem. I just don't have the drive anymore. Like, you have the drive to get the big spice sifter thingamabop. The carrier copter, sorry. The carrier copter, which has the big spicy thing in it. I'm probably just going to move all my stuff to your base one day. And then just delete my current base. I mean, I already put a bunch of spice in there. I already put my spice at your base. That's why there was like 2,000 sand spice in there. Anyways. Scraping, interesting. All your base are belong to Drac. Yep. Oh, there's sand. Oh, they're analyzing the sand. I don't care. It's fucking sand. Yeah, no one would deliberately clean a duct like that. Uh-oh. Sneeze. That means snatchers are afoot. Reinforcing bars. It's strong. I get it. Round. You are nearby. Yeah, we'll advance. Geez, this thing keeps going. Uh-oh. Am I gonna get the blaster out? Freaking insectoids, get the fuck out of here. Analyzing sand is how Axel Foley solved the mystery in Beverly Hills Cop 2. I mean, it's true. It's just that I don't want to hear, like, this sand has 3% iron and 2% sand.
What in the world?
This is part of the tube liner, the city's long-abandoned subway system.
You mean Queen's Hospital and this were connected?
Yes, it would appear that the
But listen, it's
Snatchers
just a
were using
visual
this to
novel.
move
That
from
previous
place to
section.
place. This would provide them with the perfect way
Whatever.
to move about while still avoiding the ultraviolet rays they hate so much. We should have realized this sooner. The city is crisscrossed by the tube liner's old lines, and since they are abandoned, the Snatchers could move undetected as well.
Aha! That's how those two we caught a glimpse of at the abandoned factory where Gibson was killed.
Oops. That was a misclick, sorry.
Were able to disappear so quickly. They must have used this.
What did Brad say about civilization? That's why you're here.
That would appear to be correct.
No.
The tube liner passes
I was talking
underneath
about
that
how
as well. That would
Civ
also
5
explain
might
why
come out
sand from
and
the
come up in an
factory was
upcoming
the
video
air
I'm
duct
working
of the
on.
hospital.
And
So
Brad,
this is the
not
trick they
Brad,
were using to
Drax
stay out
said
of the sun
if it
and
had to do
avoid
anything
being
with Brad
seen while
McQuaid, and I
they
told him
moved
no.
around.
Now we
Unfortunately.
know why it took so long to uncover them.
I mean, he
Right,
probably
let's
played
follow the
Civ 5.
subway.
Let's
We
not
should
beat
be able
around
to
the
get out
bush. He
when we get to the
probably
nearest
played
station.
it. It was out for 9 years by the time he died. I'm sorry, passed.
Look, metal, light!
Yes, but this doesn't look like a station.
Civilization Revolution is the
ladder.
only one
Where
I
do you
love.
suppose it leads, Gillian?
I don't have the slightest,
I have not
but
played
let's
any
climb
of
it
them,
and
so
see.
I wouldn't know.
All right, now climbing the ladder.
When the 4-hour game compared to
We seem to
80-hour
have
games
emerged
in
into
Civ,
an
regular
odd
Civs.
place. Wait, this
Ooh.
room.
We've seen that room before.
It's Freddie Nielsen's bathroom. He was using this shaft from the bathtub to get down into the subway. So that's how he did that.
Ah, Yes, as I recall, after you disposed
But
of
what,
Lisa,
what about the
you somehow
water?
entered the
Where's the
apartment
water
without
go?
using the regular entrance.
They just dump
Which
it
he
down below,
accomplished by
probably.
using the
Snatchers don't care
secret
about water
passage into his
conservation.
bathtub.
The bathtub must be of a double construction. The bottom is actually a lid. When they wanted to hide the passage, all they needed to do was fill the tub. And to get in and out, they would just drain the water into another tank.
Ah, they
Jeez.
drained it in another tank.
Double-bottom bathtubs? Abandoned subways? Snatchers really go out of their way to stay out of the sun.
Okay, Gillian, let's head outside.
Nice power cell on, even though we blast these fools. Okay, it looks like we have to investigate the map. Yeah, why are they such big Moscow fans? It holds a clue, yes. I have to investigate. Actually, no, I'm not going to save. I'm just going to go to the tire boat. Look. Area. Oh, there's a taxi. Investigate taxi. Move. Right in taxi. Investigate driver. This said, listen, you're a snatcher.
Is he dead?
He's junk now. Stubborn one, wasn't he?
Jeez. He made it through that explosion and was waiting for us out here. If those things ever get control of the city, there's no way we'll ever get it back. We've got to stop them before that.
Well, they lost their doctor
we have to prevent
with
the
their
chief
skin
from getting
cancer
to
or
the
whatever.
Kyoto Summit.
I know. And I have to pay back my debt to Random.
I mean,
Let's use this
we got
taxi
him.
to get back to Junker headquarters.
I planned on it. I just hope Mika and Harry are safe.
Yeah. Things are wrapping the hell up. Alright, we'll look at the fucking shutter first. Well, of course, Mika's in there. Let's look at the area. Something happened, yep. Freaking Snatchers, yeah, let's open a shutter.
All right, I'm going to open it, but please use extreme caution. Anything could be inside.
I don't think she's dead.
Mika, are you all right? Metal, how is she?
Her pulse is normal. The only external injuries are to her forehead, and they are not serious. There's been no significant blood loss.
Mika, come on,
Yeah,
snap
we can't
out.
have the hot
It's
ladies
me,
dying
Gillian.
yet.
Gillian? Gillian?
Mika, what happened?
Gillian, the chief. The chief is a snatcher.
So he's finally shown his true colors.
Harry's...
What's happened to Harry?
Harry put me in the pod and sealed the main door. He locked the snatcher in.
That was smart. Not even a snatcher can get through this shield.
So where's Harry?
He said keep the door sealed no matter what happens in there. And then he went in. Gillian, please help him.
Harry.
Hopefully he
Mika,
has like
open the door. I'm going in.
a Snatcher shotgun, an anti-Snatcher shotgun.
Metal, we're going in. Be careful. That snatcher could be hiding anywhere.
Yes, sir.
Gillian, please be careful. The chief is very cunning. Don't let your guard down.
Don't worry. I'll watch myself in there.
I've got my blaster. I got my Snatcher blaster. Ready to blast. Uh-oh.
Harry!
Oh, Gillian, is that you? I'm getting old. Just look at me.
What happened?
I saw the chief messing with your turbocycle. And that weird picture in his office.
Metal, how is he? Metal!
I do not wish to say.
Really that bad, huh?
Gillian, when I confronted him about what I saw, he showed me what he really was. I was barely able to even scratch him.
That's enough, Harry. I understand. Metal, is there anything we can do for him?
Gillian, I'm sorry.
Harry, you'll be okay. It doesn't look like you're hurting too bad. This'll work out perfect. You always were working too hard anyway. Why don't you take a nice long vacation somewhere and rest up?
Yeah, sure. Nice try, Gillian, but it's my body. I know I ain't gonna make it. You were a good kid, Gillian.
Harry!
Nice try,
don't know
Gillian.
how to
You're
say this
stupid.
right, but
I
I've
could see the
always had
organ
a
spilling out of my
special
body.
feeling about you. I've always had trouble talking to people since I was little, like my father. What I can remember of him.
Pulse and blood pressure falling.
Harry,
Shut the
hang
hell
in
up,
there.
Metal.
You and I were gonna go out and tie one on, remember?
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. You, me, and Jean, the three of us.
But John is...
Metal, quiet!
Gillian, I've lived my life alone. I didn't know my parents or family. Always so stubborn, glued to my research. I never really trusted anybody. That was a mistake.
Blood pressure continuing to fall.
Harry?
After Jean died,
Blood's coming out of the mouth. That's not
I
good.
felt it. Human warmth, companionship.
I know what you mean.
Gillian, I just wanted to get along with everybody. I don't need no Nobel Prize. For 50 years, I've been searching, trying to find something I lost. Looks like I'll never find it now.
Gillian, he's about.
Looks like I've been talking too much. It's up to you now, Gillian. I'm finished. You won't forget this, old grouch, will you?
Harry!
Gillian, you've got to believe in yourself. You're the last junker.
Harry! Harry!
Pulse 0. Pupils are dilated.
Shut up, Metal.
Cunningham! No! Snatcher! I'll get you for this!
We have no time for grieving. That Snatcher is still hiding somewhere here in headquarters.
Metal, listen to me. If that Snatcher gets me, you've got to take Mika and run. Then you've got to blow up Junker headquarters. Blow it sky high! You understand me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I just hope it doesn't come to that. So, where should we start our search?
Just a Lakeview cabin. That game is scary AF. This got emotional all MF. I know, he did. Hold on. Is that the game I think it is? Hold on, Lakeview. Yes. I know it's very, like, obtuse in its puzzles, that game. Alright, Chief. Gonna get blasted. I beat the shortest level it has. Just checking under the sofa. There's no Snatcher here, but there is a cat. I don't want to go to bed. That means I have to work tomorrow. That's the thing that sucks about Sundays, you know? Nothing in the booth. Nothing above the booth. That'd be the trickiest part. That'd be the trickiest part to get. I don't see why Schedule 1 seems so popular. It looks lame. I mean, the same could be said about Vampire Survivors. That does, from far, look like a lame game, but there's a lot of meat to it. A lot of meat and potatoes. Let's go back. Nope, not engineering room. It's blood. Any game with pot seems cliche. I know. Like you make certain drugs with like weird ingredients, like horse jizz, and I mean, I guess it's similar to like Supermarket Simulator, where you kind of slowly build an empire, and there's a lot of quirkiness to it. Like apparently you could just go around just recycling cans and bottles, and you can make decent money that way, and get lottery tickets and scratch them off. I think there's a little bit of depth. I don't know. I haven't played it personally, but people seem to like it. Oh shit!
The lighting control system has been destroyed. Distance to motion readings increasing.
Is he trying to run?
Motion readings have vanished.
You got past me this time, Snatcher.
Headquarters emergency lighting has been activated.
Can we find him again?
We should go after him immediately.
We'll find him. We know he's somewhere inside headquarters.
The Snatcher has been wounded. We should look for traces of blood.
Yeah, we're gonna find you, Snatcher. You run our noses the whole freaking time.
The main door has been opened. Did Mika open it?
Wait, Mika's not in the pod. What happened?
The lighting has been disconnected.
Don't move, Seed.
Cunningham, is that you?
I read motion. He is definitely in here.
Where are you? Show yourself.
I'm right here. I don't need to run or hide from you.
Uh-oh.
Mika!
Alright, I got one
No,
shot.
Gillian, don't move. It's a trap.
A hostage? You cowardly scum! Mika, why did you open the entrance?
I don't know. I was really scared. I mean, the emergency light's coming on so suddenly.
Seed, go ahead and shoot. But you'd better be a pretty good shot, or this kid goes home in a bag.
Shoot, Gillian. Kill this thing. Don't worry about me.
Mika!
What are you going to do?
I have you now, Junker.
Damn.
The Snatcher's functions have been terminated.
Mika, are you all right?
Yes. Yes, I think so. Thank you.
I only shot you 100 times. It's alright, though.
Random? Sorry it took so long, but this ought to make us even.
I know, those pixel graphics.
Junker? You may have stopped me, but it's not over yet.
Gillian, this is just residual energy feedback. Its power levels are dropping rapidly.
Put one more in the skull, buddy.
More than a maintenance facility. We have comrades operating throughout the city, more than you can imagine. Now our plans will move into phase 2. For that, we will enlist the help of Professor Lorraine. Your existence is meaningless as long as you don't get your memory back. Good luck, Junker.
I would have put one more in the skull.
My memory? Comrades? Professor Lorraine?
Harry. Why? Please tell me. Why do so many good people have to die?
Mika.
This is all wrong.
Mika, don't worry. I won't let anybody else die. I've made a promise to Harry and Random. But the city is still full of Snatchers.
Yeah.
This fight is just beginning.
Hell yeah.
Gillian, I have an urgent video call from Jamie. I'll connect you.
You better.
Gillian, I've got my memory back. I remember everything.
Oh,
Your
no.
memory? So what about us, Jamie? Who are we?
Gillian, it's terrible. What we've done.
Jamie, what's wrong?
I can't tell you something like this over the video phone. I would have been better off never remembering.
Okay, Jamie, calm down. I'll head out right now. Where are you? Is it snowing?
I'm sorry, Gillian. I can't tell you. They've taken our boy hostage.
Our boy? Who?
Professor Modner is here too.
Jamie, what are you talking about?
I'm so sorry.
Snatcher!
Gillian!
We have Professor Lorraine. We only require her cooperation for a short period here at the Kremlin. So for now, I suggest you avoid doing anything foolish. Professor Seed.
Professor Seed? Yeah, I might have saw a video like that once. Act 2 end. The finale, Act 3. Yes, I would fucking love to save. In fact, we'll overwrite too. Cause I did shoot up Mika a whole lot in that last part. Oh, it was bullshit. I hit, like, I would have grazed her hand. And he still shoots me from the hand. Dumb.
With the start of this year's Kyoto Summit just 3 hours away, the delegates from the participating countries are beginning to arrive at the conference center. A major poll of domestic and international opinion, carried out just last week, shows that the vast majority of respondents favor a complete quarantine of Neo Kobe as a means to combat the risk of the Snatcher menace.
I'm drinking Snow 9.
Now that the Chief's death has been confirmed, it won't be long before they strip us of our Junker authorization.
They will be deciding how to handle Neo Kobe at the summit in just 3 hours.
There are rumors that they're going to use nukes on the city to make sure the Snatchers are wiped out.
That's ridiculous. Come on, this is the 21st century.
That may not be as improbable as it seems. The world's leaders are extremely concerned about the Snatcher problem.
The Chief was going to calm this hysteria in his speech at the summit, but that'll never happen now.
3 months ago, government pressure on Junker operations increased dramatically. Gillian's transfer here was really our last chance.
Our own chief was snatched. It's not too surprising they don't want to trust us anymore.
I've heard that the Army and FBI are going to take over operations now.
That's correct. That too will be officially decided in 3 hours' time.
3 hours, eh? Is there any way we can find their hideout in that time?
If we don't, we and everybody else in this city are finished.
As far as they're concerned, we're just like a cancerous tumor that has to be cut out.
We have to hit the Snatchers' headquarters before then.
Gillian, can you do it?
If we only knew where it was, I should be able to manage something.
Hitting their outposts like Queen's Hospital won't do any good. We have to find their main nerve center.
Yeah, we gotta find the main base.
What about the memory of that Snatcher who was impersonating the chief?
Just like the others, it was completely blanked. It's a form of self-destruct mechanism that they use.
Wait a minute. Metal, what about tracing that video phone call from Jamie?
It was no good. The call didn't last long enough. Still, it definitely did come from within the city.
Damn. Where are they hiding?
Gillian, can't you remember anything at all? Didn't Jamie say something that implied you were somehow connected to the Snatchers?
Nothing. I can't remember a damn thing. Metal, I want you to tell me everything you know about me. Why was I sent to Junker headquarters? Where did I come from?
Where did I go?
Gillian.
Metal, the chief's dead. Tell me everything you know about me.
Well, you see...
You said you had a small wiener.
All right. With the chief gone, you are the highest-ranking officer here.
You knew all along?
Of course.
Where were we rescued from?
3 years ago, you and Jamie were taken into protective custody in the Siberian Neutral Zone by the 17th Siberian Investigative Force. More precisely, you were discovered in cryogenic sleep pods in an underground bunker near Moscow.
Cryogenic sleep pods? You mean they were frozen?
This is a photograph of the bunker. There is no record of when you were placed there. In addition, the third pod was empty at the time you were discovered.
There were 3 pods?
You were revived.
Obviously, the guy that woke up, he was evil.
Apparently, as a result of the extended sleep, both of you suffered from complete amnesia. However, another theory suggests your memories may have been intentionally erased. This is the only piece of evidence found at the site.
That's Harry's picture, from when he was a kid.
That's correct. Harry is Gillian and Jamie's son. It's been confirmed by DNA tests.
Harry? Harry was my son?
Using the information gained from the photo,
and he's dead now.
You are Gillian Seed.
What a time to find out.
Jamie Lorraine. Both of you are American citizens, born in the late 1960s.
The 1960s?
In addition, both of you vanished without a trace in 1989. There is no other information available about you after that.
1989?
Yes. You come from a world that's been gone for 50 years.
But what does that have to do with the Snatchers?
When the 17th Special Investigative Force was bringing the two of you out, there was an accident. Though the two of you were all right, most of the 17th was killed. One of them was a Snatcher. Of course, before their departure, they all underwent thorough examinations. So, if one of them was snatched...
It had to be somewhere in Siberia, right?
That's correct. And in order to attempt to determine the origin of the Snatcher, as well as your true identities, you were assigned to Junker headquarters. The hope was that exposure to the Snatchers would help you regain your memories.
Moscow? 50 years ago?
Almost everyone
Metal
who was
would
in
hold
Moscow
this
at the
information
time
out on
was
us.
killed in the catastrophe.
He's the best
So
and worst
Gillian
character
and
in the
Jamie
game.
are the only living witnesses?
Harry. Harry was my son.
Yeah.
Did he know?
No. It was highly classified information. He was never told.
I was never able to do anything for him.
Wait a minute, Gillian. Didn't Jamie say something about taking a boy hostage?
That's right. They must know about Harry and are using him to threaten her.
We have to find their headquarters quickly.
We've only got 3 hours.
Gillian, let's think this all through again. We may get some kind of a hint out of it.
You're right. There may be some clue in the way they're operating.
All right. Let's go over what we know about them.
What's the Snatcher's weak point? The head. or ultraviolet rays. Ultraviolet rays, not the head, but also the head. Yeah, they only come out at night, blah, 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 blah. We know that part. There's an underpass. Yeah, they're using an underpass. Get out of there. Sneeze. Hey, listen, Kojima, we need to really pad this out like another 5 minutes. We got you, bro. We'll just re-quiz them about what they've already seen. Moscow. They needed something like that to maintain their emotional balance? They're robots. I mean, I guess, an emotional base.
In other words, this homing instinct thing of theirs has led them to set up their headquarters in some place that reminds them of home, or their creator.
What part of this city is like Moscow?
Moscow's really cold, right? They get a lot of snow, don't they?
Snow?
No snow has been recorded in Neo Kobe in several years.
Well, then that's not it.
Wait, what about that pollen? That crystal bioengineered stuff, Snow 9?
Now that you mention it, wasn't it snowing on Jamie's video phone call?
That's right. Their hideout has to be somewhere close to the Ina River.
The Ina River flows for miles around here, Gillian. We could never search it all in time.
Gillian, let's look at a map of the areas investigated so far. This is an enlarged view of the southwest portion of the city around the Ina River. This blue area is that in which Snow 9 is present. Now I'll superimpose a chart of the abandoned tube liner tunnels. From this, we can establish those areas with Snow 9, which are accessible by subway tunnel.
Damn. Nice try, but it's still too large. We could never cover it in 3 hours.
Well, we gotta get the Moscow
Don't give
map,
up so
put it
fast,
over
Gillian.
it.
What about that image of home thing we were talking about? Maybe there's some kind of geographic similarity. Maybe the same view can be seen or something.
I'll display a map of Moscow alongside.
Yeah, there you go.
What's this?
Look, the rivers are exactly the same shape.
This is the Moscow River over here.
It looks like we're on the right track, Metal. Show us the location that Jamie and I were picked up from.
All right, right here.
Metal, before the catastrophe, what was at this location?
The headquarters for the entire Soviet Union, the Kremlin.
The Kremlin? That Snatcher said something about taking Jamie to their Kremlin.
Metal, what spot in Neo Kobe would match up with the location of Moscow's Kremlin?
Calculating. This is the spot. It's presently occupied by an old church. It's rather large, but reports indicate it's been abandoned for nearly 20 years.
And it's right in the middle of the Snow 9 and subway area.
That's it! That's their headquarters, their new Kremlin.
Gillian, let's go!
Wait, Gillian. I want to go with you.
Sorry, Mika.
Hey, I'm a junker too, you know.
I know, and you're a great one at that.
So take me with you then.
You head to the summit to warn the delegates. They haven't given up, you know.
The summit's in Kyoto. I'm not going to be the only one to run.
You've got to convince them not to use nukes on Neo Kobe.
We found their hideout. There's no need now to sink the whole island.
Yes, but...
It's a tough job. Can you do it?
Okay, Gillian. I'll do what I can.
You distract them.
Thank you, Mika.
I'll do the blast.
Don't say it, okay?
Let's go, Gillian.
Gillian?
Yes? What's wrong?
How about dinner sometime?
Dinner?
Yeah, you know, dinner.
Mika.
Not interested. I thought it would be nice, you know, to kick back, relax. It's Christmas after all.
Christmas, huh?
So wait, is this
I'll be
like
back
Die
by
Hard?
then.
Gillian, we have to hurry.
That's a promise, right? I heard you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But I gotta go to church first.
I'll see you soon then.
Okay, Metal, let's go.
I'm saving so I don't have to see all that fucking jazz again.
I've input the map data on the Kremlin's locations. Lift off.
I wonder if they were originally going to have more
Flight
graphics for this
configuration,
part.
Now gaining altitude.
For like, you know, the black area with the lights.
Jamie,
but they just didn't have the
please be
technology to
safe.
do it.
Gillian, please keep in mind that we're working with a strict time limit.
A 50-year debt in 3 hours. Snow!
Snow 9, to be specific. We've entered the Snow 9 region. Please put on your breathing filter. Direct inhalation is dangerous.
All right.
Radio transmissions will also be impossible from this point on. Understood? Now descending. Conversion to hover configuration complete. Gillian, we've arrived.
Is he actually wearing a mask?
All right, now opening the door.
What's wrong? Won't open?
I've scanned it, and it's not locked. It is probably rusted into place.
Not surprising. After all, our friends always go in and out through the basement.
Let's push it together.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
That got it.
Blonde hair man. Liquid snake. That's totally Liquid Snake. You can't tell me otherwise. That's him. Isn't he random? Kind of, but with yellow hair. Portrait of that person. Okay. Too many. But someone listen, if you've ever been in a video game and you see something like this, they're gonna friggin' activate and you have to fight them all. That's just video game logic right there. Hmm. 23rd Siberian Investigative Force. The plot thickens. Snatchers were brought to Neo Kobe from the Siberian Neutral Zone. The plot thickens.
This is where they fuse the artificial skin onto the Snatcher's endostructure. First, they adjust the size of the still skinless Snatcher to the size of the individual who is to be snatched. The Snatcher's overall shape and size can be adjusted by expansion or contraction of sizing rods. Their sex is controlled by gender units, which are installed at this point. Then, the face is modified to match the intended victim by adjusting the size of the upper and lower jaw, cheekbones, temporal bones, and tooth alignment.
Just like Gibson said, that means there are limits to the size of the people that they can snatch.
That's right. The limits of the mechanism mean that they can't snatch children, the elderly, or people who are very tall or heavy. And this is where the artificial muscle's attached.
Is it organic?
No. It appears to be coated with a type of plastic gel capable of mechanical response. Like human muscles, it creates mechanical energy through chemical reactions. And this is where the artificial skin is attached. In order to prevent the synthetic cells, developed using biotechnological protein design techniques, from rejecting the inorganic material below, they attach it gradually over a number of days.
And this is the stuff that gets cancer if they stay out in the sun too long.
Finally, they attach body and scalp hair. The process involves transplant of synthetic hair follicles as well, so the hair will grow back if it's lost.
What about scars or birthmarks?
It would appear that they make those adjustments at this point in the process, as they would for wrinkles to simulate age.
If all the people are going to be snatched, is all being neatly processed.
So this is where the whole thing begins. The endostructures arrive here from the Kremlin. Then they convert them into copies of their victims. And finally, they head out into the city using the old subway system.
With artificial skin maintenance being handled.
You know what? Just in case I might have missed a spot at the saves, I'm going to do a save state.
At Queen's Hospital.
But who's behind all this?
Gillian, look at this. There are some finished Snatchers over here.
Get a load of this. The US President, the Prime Ministers of Japan, and the UK.
Dun-dun. And me.
You're in here too.
Figures. They were looking to snatch every VIP at the summit.
And the last junker, you. It definitely looks like they plan on moving out beyond Neo Kobe.
If they were to snatch every major world leader, they'd practically be able to control the planet. Still, that's odd. With their flawed skin, pulling something off like that would really be difficult.
Chin said they had found the key to developing a perfect artificial skin. Maybe they've already produced it.
No idea. But the number of Snatchers here makes it clear that they're up to something new.
Gillian, this is definitely their nest. We should destroy everything.
Not yet. Not until we found Jamie. Metal, how much time do we have left?
The summit should have begun by now. We don't have much time. And once our legal privileges are suspended, I won't be able to help. In fact, I'll be forced to restrain you.
I know. If the military wants to avoid nukes and goes for a surgical strike on this facility, what would they likely use?
Probably a phased particle beam from one of the attack satellites.
Oh, rad.
A phased particle beam, huh?
Damn, we can't see it.
That'll wipe this complex right off the map.
Everything, including the soil, will simply evaporate. The attack will leave just a large crater.
Metal, can you convince them to give me another hour? Even 30 minutes will help.
Understood. I'll try my best.
And I'll try to find and rescue Jamie in that time.
I can't transmit here due to interference from the Snow 9. I'll have to leave the area and then send the message.
All right. Do it, Metal.
Gillian, don't forget. 30 minutes. You must get out before then.
I understand.
Gillian, I'm sorry I couldn't help you better.
Don't worry about it. I'll be able to move faster by myself anyway. 30 minutes should be plenty. Go, Metal.
Yes, sir. Don't forget. 30 minutes.
30 minutes. Okay.
30 minutes? Oh, this is gonna be tight. That room's the only place left to check. Let's take a look.
Yep, this is it. This is the part I remember. These fucking pranksters. Trying to juke me out? Huh? Fool? Shit. Jesus fucking Christ. Some visual novel this is. Okay, I'm fucking safe stating.
Whew. I wasn't ready for that. They almost got me.
Ugh.
All right, let's open the next door. Doesn't look like there's anything here. Whoa!
God. The reaction times on some of these are kind of fucking bonkers. That's brutal. Well, good thing we safe stated.
Whew. I wasn't ready for that. They almost got me. All right, let's open the next door.
God, that's so incredibly tight. You don't have much time to think. We'll get it, though.
Doesn't look like there's anything here.
Here, I'll save again. I don't have to see that again. Jesus.
Jeez.
Fucking Christ.
These guys are tough. Of course, I didn't exactly expect them to welcome me with open arms. Okay, let's try this next door.
I know, I see that's a woman.
Jamie, are you all right?
Gillian, you came for me.
Are you hurt?
No, they won't lay a finger on me. Not until the new artificial skin is completed anyway.
Artificial skin research? You?
Gillian, I've got my memory back. All of it.
What happened? Tell me, Jamie.
They said they'd kill him. They said they'd kill Harry. They forced me. I had to help them with the skin development. They said I had to help them because the professor was ill. Wasn't getting any better. Gillian, the engineer Harry, he's our son. He's been living on his own now for 50 years.
Well, we already know.
Jamie, I'm afraid that Harry's...
There was nothing I could do. They forced me. But I can't do it anymore.
Jamie!
The professor, he just died. He was over 100.
The professor? What? This old man?
Don't you remember? It's Professor Modner. Professor Petrovich Modner.
What? This old man is Modner?
He's been confined here for 3 years now, just to develop the Snatcher's artificial skin. Terrible. Doing that to your own father.
Whose father? Jamie, I don't have any idea what you're talking about.
You really can't remember, can you?
Jamie, tell me. Tell me who I am. What were we doing at the Kremlin?
Are you sure you really want me to, Gillian? It's all so awful, but if you must know, I'll tell you.
We were making robots.
Try to remain calm, okay? 56 years ago, you and I were involved in a top-secret Soviet project. It was still during the time of the Cold War. The gulf between East and West was as wide as ever. Everybody was worried about nukes. At that point, the world's armies were at their largest ever. Leaders still believed that a strong military meant a strong nation. There were rumors that there would be an agreement to end the production of nuclear weapons. On the other hand, the major powers like the US began to get involved in a space weapons race. But not the Soviets. The conservative despots in the Kremlin had another, completely different idea for gaining military superiority. A horrible plan, something no one else would think of. At that time, the countries of the communist bloc were facing an economic crisis. Popular movements pushing for democracy were springing up all over. Communism itself was facing extinction. Facing pressure from the reformers, the Kremlin began to panic. And that's when that horrible, childish plan was launched.
And that was the Snatcher project. Replace your enemy's leaders with puppets of your own. Then you control their governments, their economies, take over a country from the inside out.
That's
right, I've heard
Gillian.
crazier conspiracy theories.
And to develop these robots, they assembled some of the most brilliant scientific minds from around the world. Some of them were even brought in against their will. At the crux of that development effort was a group called the Frankenstein Project Team. You and I were members of that team, Gillian. It was a 4-person team led by the late Professor Modner here. The robotics expert was Professor Modner himself. His son, Elijah Modner, handled genetics and microbiology. For nanobiology and picobiology, myself. And for behavioral science and psychology, you, Gillian. Early development was carried out at a lab in Novosibirsk, but was later moved to a secret facility under the Kremlin. At the time, the Glasnost and Perestroika movements were gaining momentum, and they rightly feared for the existence of the program if it should become known. But some of the reformers did learn of the project, and they conspired with the US to block it. Gillian, you were a CIA special agent sent by the United States to infiltrate and sabotage the project.
I was CIA?
Yes, and the government knows that. That's why you were assigned to the Junker team.
What? Who am I?
Work on the project continued to go smoothly. But then,
Is this Dune?
on June
Basically.
6th, 1996, there was
Hey,
that
Vandini.
accident. A mysterious explosion at the Chernobyl facility spread a bacterial weapon that was under development there into the atmosphere, destroying the country and the project. Gillian, was it you? Did you set off that explosion?
What? You can't be serious. You think I caused the catastrophe?
I mean,
Somehow, during
you
the
were
confusion,
CIA.
Professor Modner and our son Harry managed to get picked up by American agents. But we couldn't get out in time, you and I and Elijah. In a shelter below the Kremlin, we entered a cryogenic sleep. Our plan was to sleep there until the toxic effects of the bacteria were safely passed.
And then 48 years later, 3 years ago, we were discovered by the 17th Special Investigative Force.
Yes, but when they found us, Elijah's pod was already empty.
Elijah Modner? That guy whose picture was in the church? The one that looks like Random?
That's right, Elijah is alive! Elijah is here and working on the Snatchers.
Why don't you let me finish your little story?
Who's there?
It's been a while, hasn't it, Jamie? Ah, yes. And Gillian.
I mean, it's not a Kojima joint without just exposition at the end, just a dump.
It's me, Jamie.
Elijah? Is that really you?
Random? No. Not quite.
Too old to be random.
So you remember me, do you? I am Elijah Modnar, the only son of Professor Petrovich Modnar. I'm afraid I've grown somewhat old and feeble since we last met, however.
Elijah, why are you doing this? Your father, Professor Modner, he passed away a few minutes ago.
What? My father? My father is dead?
Elijah, what happened to you? The Elijah I knew could
I just
never
wanted
do
to hook up a
anything
bunch
like
of
this.
weird, quirkly
I've
tubes to me.
changed, Jamie. These 40 years have changed me.
I can't believe it. What happened to you?
What happened to me? Jamie, do I actually have to explain it to you? Jamie, it's you. Your beauty is the cause of all that has come to pass here. 57 years ago, I was obsessed. With my research, yes. And with you, Jamie. At the time, I was still young, having just graduated with my genetic engineering degree. My father's connections got me on the team, and there, I met you. You were working as my father's assistant. Your beauty, your smile, I was stricken. I saw something in you that I never felt with women.
Stolen
of my
from me
own
from
country.
a goddamn American.
You warmed my cold, young heart, Jamie. You opened me up, and I couldn't stop my feelings.
Elijah.
Oh, I was so happy. The political situation was crumbling around us, but every day was a joy. I gained my father's trust, and with you there watching over me, I was able to work as hard as I ever have on the project. However, my happiness did not last for long. Gillian, it was you. You showed up and all was ruined. You arrived and joined our project team. Far from home, Jamie found comfort in a man from the same land. Your relationship grew quickly, and all I could do was stand by and watch. Jamie and Gillian fell in love, were joined, and even had a child.
Harry.
I love how angry he is.
Only grew stronger. Worried about me.
I mean, that lady to the left and the clown on the back is pretty good
I
too.
persisted. Jamie, I always wanted to be near you. And then, the democratic movements that had consumed the rest of the Eastern Bloc spread to our country as well. The Cold War was over. The hardliners who had pushed for its development were stripped of power and the project was cancelled.
The reformers, trying to cover up the existence of such a crazed project, ordered that all materials related to it be destroyed, and that we stand trial for our actions. Jamie and Gillian were to be returned to their homeland. That's about the time that I learned that you, Gillian, that you were a CIA agent, and that you were trying to pass documents on our research to your military. The country had sold us out. I'm no politician. I couldn't care less about what happened to the country. All I cared about was my research and Jamie. And I was to lose all of that, everything. For someone so young, you cannot understand how great of a shock that was.
And then you blew up everything.
That is when I decided, I swore I would see that secret, crazed project through to the end. At the time, the bioroids were 80% finished. The main part, their endostructure, was essentially completed. But we still were having trouble with the artificial skin, the area that Jamie and I were assigned to. We called it artificial skin, but there was of course no need to duplicate T lymphocytes, Langerhans cells, or endocrine cells. All we needed was keratinized cells and melanocytes to provide the pigment. With the artificial protein development techniques that we had in those days, full-scale synthetic cell development was very difficult. Research like this
sounds
took
very
months,
mumbo-jumbo-y. I'd love to hear a doctor.
The original project called for us to simultaneously
Chime
snatch
in
an
on
entire
what
country. In
he's
other words,
talking
a
about,
whole nation
or some sort
or
of
an
medical
entire city had to be
researcher.
snatched over the course of one night. For that reason, a powerful biological agent which could quickly and effectively kill the population of the country was being simultaneously developed.
Lucifer Alpha.
Whoa, new portrait.
That's right. A type RAO11 virus which another team was developing. For someone like myself, who was closely involved in the project, blowing up the lab was quite a simple task.
My God, Elijah, do you know what you're saying? That explosion killed half the world's population.
I moved all the materials and records essential to the Bioroid project into the shelter and executed my plan on June 6th. After sealing off the lab, I brought the two of you with me to the underground shelter, and we entered a cryogenic sleep. But not before I programmed an atmospheric research satellite to transmit a wake signal when the danger from Lucifer Alpha had passed.
And 10 years later, Lucifer Alpha naturally mutated into a non-toxic form.
But the automatic revival system failed to work.
Oh no, it worked. Just as planned. It revived me 10 years later. A little sooner than the two of you, of course.
But even though you sealed the lab with the explosion and everything, you should have been exposed. Why weren't you?
Oh, I was. But by that time, the vaccine L Angels had already been developed.
So everything went just as you planned it then?
Yes, up until that point. But my real struggle was yet to come. My original plan was to revive Jamie as well, and for the two of us to finish the development of the bioroids. You, Gillian, you were to stay asleep forever. But I just couldn't bring myself to do it. Not after looking at Jamie's peaceful face there in the pod. Besides, I could never have convinced her to work with me on the project anyway. I knew the time was not yet right, so I changed the timers of your pods to permanent on.
How could you do such a thing?
And so for the next 40 years, I worked alone in that cold and lonely room under the Kremlin, trying to complete the artificial skin for the Snatchers. For days and days, no one would visit me. I never saw the sun or felt the changing of the seasons. Still, I always had Jamie by my side. You were always there for me to talk to. Just you and I for 40 years in that dark cellar.
Oh,
Brutal.
you poor, poor man.
And then, 3 years ago, my research was finally completed. First, I snatched the Siberian Special Investigative Forces to establish a transport route for the Snatchers. And then, to test the effect of large-scale snatch operations, I chose Neo-Kobe City to be my experimental sample. Neo-Kobe is cut off from the surrounding areas, a sort of miniature country in itself, making it a perfect test site. And since it's a melting pot of various races, it would also allow me to gather extensive data on Snatcher modification and operational
I guess this is
techniques.
Neo-Kobe. Regular
In addition,
Japan,
the
that's
element of
definitely not true.
suspicion or mistrust, which runs deep in Japanese
It's not like
culture,
America,
was
where
another
there's a
reason
lot
I
more.
chose this site.
But your test revealed a critical flaw in your machine's artificial skin.
Yes, quite unexpected, I'm afraid. All my research for 40 years. I gathered data and worked day and night to find a solution, but nothing seemed to work.
So that's why you decided to bring Professor Modner here, right?
That's correct. I discovered my father in one of the government's hospitals. He was old, but still very sound of mind. Naturally, he would not cooperate with me.
Of course not. He'd never become involved in something like that.
So, unable to receive his assistance, I decided that I had to have yours. But a mistake on my part allowed both you and Gillian to be taken into custody by the authorities first.
Just what are you trying to accomplish, Elijah? You must know you can never get Jamie back.
I'm only interested in discovering what I can of the human animal. In the past, it was because of Jamie. My motive is different now.
It sounds like you're just suffering from the wild arrogance that corrupts so many scientists.
Humans are such weak
wild
creatures.
arrogance.
No
Go
matter
post
how
a
much
Reddit.
they trust one another, the tiniest speck of suspicion can destroy it all. Look at how the Snatcher problem has caused such wild unrest. No matter how much science advances or how high we set our ideals, we eventually begin
Do I
to
have 2
suspect
drinks?
each
Wanna
other,
fight about
to
it?
hate each other, and then to kill each other. The Snatchers are nothing more than a tool for bringing out this reaction. I am simply using the Snatchers to elicit the true nature of the human animal. I think this experiment has shown me the limits of human society. I sincerely doubt it will be able to reach any greater level of prosperity on its own. If human society ever hopes to reach greater heights, what is needed is an absolute leader, a firm ruler who isn't affected by these trivial episodes of mistrust.
You're crazy if you think people would ever obey Snatchers.
Of course they wouldn't. But if they don't know, they cannot object. There has been a time in every age that the people have longed for a god to lead them. As long as they give the people no reason to suspect them, then they can easily become their gods, indeed, a new race of super beings. We are almost there.
But they don't.
Once we perfect the
They don't
artificial
reproduce.
skin, Snatchers will transcend man to become this planet's true human beings.
But you'll never get your perfect skin now. Professor Modner is dead.
I no longer have any use for my father. I have a sample of the new skin he developed. Once I've analyzed it, I'll be able to make as much as I need. Or if need be, we could simply culture the keratinized cells, epithelial cells, and melanocytes in the quantities that we need.
What are you talking about? How could you get a sample of perfected artificial skin?
Why don't you take a look at this? We found this in the rubble of Queen's Hospital.
Random.
But he was a
Oh,
Snatcher?
an acquaintance of yours?
He's a Snatcher?
That term isn't exactly accurate. This bioroid was constructed by my father without my knowledge. He modeled it after me in my youth. He built it right here in this facility. And not only that, he programmed it to destroy Snatchers. This bioroid caused me serious difficulties. It's designed and built far better than my Snatchers. The machine itself thought it was human. My father input memories for it all the way back to childhood. Those, too, were apparently mine. Haven't you yet realized? Random Hajil is Elijah Modner spelled backwards. How like my father, silly old man. He did virtually overnight what I could not do in 40 years of effort.
You dumb.
Furthermore, he makes a bioroid so perfect, even the bioroid itself believes itself to be real. What's more, the cells of the skin he developed are self-replicating. Once in place, no further transplants or culturing is necessary.
Is he dead?
Its main and locomotive systems are completely shut down. It's just scrap now. But the artificial skin is being kept alive. This we need. With this, we can move to phase 2 of our plan of full-scale infiltration
the money,
of the
though.
world's major nations.
The summit's already over. You'll never succeed.
What does the summit matter? Nothing holds us back now that we have this perfect skin. We can go anywhere we want, and there will be no way to tell us apart. I will have free control over the world. Nothing will be able to stop me. Politics and free thought will no longer have any meaning. My will alone will decide the course of human history.
You egomaniac. Do you think you can snatch the entire population?
There's a fully automated Snatcher factory under the Kremlin. Even as we speak, scores of new Snatchers are being born.
But no matter how hard you try, you won't be able to snatch the people's heart and soul. What do you hope to gain from this anyway?
Jamie, the human race is composed of fools. But
I mean, that is
different. I will be its savior. Indeed, not just of mankind, but of all life on the planet.
I'm afraid that won't be possible.
Metal!
In 10 minutes, this church will be struck by a phased particle beam. I am guiding the beam from the attack satellite using GPS and 15 navigational satellites. The beam cannot miss. Everything in a 2 to 3 kilometer radius from me will be destroyed.
Stop this foolishness now. I will not have my research destroyed by some souped-up pocket calculator.
Damn.
Metal, what happened at the summit?
The delegates, worried about the Snatcher menace, voted unanimously to allow the use of nuclear weapons on the city. The military is presently imposing a quarantine on Neo Kobe.
What? Do they intend to kill everybody?
The populace is in a state of panic. However, they have agreed to lift the quarantine if this church is struck by the phased particle beam. This is our last chance. I will handle things here. Gillian, Jamie, you two must flee.
You insignificant mass of metal. You'll never...
One move and I detonate. Gillian, run!
Metal, this is crazy!
We can't let a single Snatcher get out of here. And this new artificial skin has to be destroyed as well.
I will not allow some talking scrap pile to get away with this. If you were the aiming point for the beam, then I'll just have you thrown out of here. Grab this little one and take him out of here.
Called it.
Metal!
Cowardly little robot.
You always were a real pain in the butt.
Damn.
What's that?
What? How did... You're supposed to be deactivated.
I don't go down that easy, old man.
Stop this foolish...
Shut up! Let's try to make our final moments peaceful, shall we? And you Snatchers, you touch the little guy and the old man's head comes off. Random! I've always hated being used. Why don't you watch the final act with me?
Gillian, you only have 5 minutes. The turbo cycle
Yeah,
is just outside.
you better
on standby.
fucking run, home
Use that
slice.
to flee.
Let me go.
I'm Elijah Modner. I'm your original.
I don't care if I'm an original or a copy or what. You and I are gonna die right here. If we both die, there won't be a copy anymore now, will there?
The stupid logic of a simpleton, of a machine.
Whatever it is, it's my will.
Machines have no will. Machines cannot sacrifice themselves.
We'll see about that.
You have 4 minutes. You must go.
Yeah,
and
run.
Don't forget to take care of the factory under the Kremlin.
Stop!
Gillian, even if these memories in my head are fiction...
Yeah, I know what you mean. Our memories of our time together are all too real, Random.
Gillian, you become one hell of a junker.
Gillian, it has been most recreational being your partner.
Oh, metal.
If you can, try to pick up the pieces for me, okay? Like we did for Little John?
Yeah.
Little John? Oh. Okay, Metal.
Hurry! You only have 3 minutes.
Thanks. Thanks, you two. Jamie, come on.
Yeah, fucking run. Out of time.
No! Don't let her go! No!
You pathetic old fool. You don't even know how to love someone.
You stupid machine. What is that idiotic grin supposed to mean?
By snatching you, I'm finally gonna get my real self back.
Random, there's less than 1 minute to go. Thanks to you, everything will be fine.
You don't owe me any thanks. Sorry to get you involved in such a big job. You did great. You're a hell of a junker.
3, 2, 1.
Happy New Year.
Later, kid.
Wait. It was supposed to just be... It was just supposed to be the church. It was supposed to be the whole damn town.
So you're really going, aren't you?
It's our responsibility, too. Besides, if I go to Moscow, I may get some of my memory back. And if that happens, I'll be able to love you even more than I do now. Wait for me. I want to be with you, but first I've got to destroy this terrible factory of theirs. Jamie, when I get back, let's try living together again. What do you say?
13 Special Operations Squad and all Junker personnel. Report immediately for departure.
We'll be waiting for you, too.
Katrina! Mika! You're here too?
You better be happy, Buster, with all these beautiful women seeing you off.
I'm happy you came. Let me introduce my wife.
Jamie Seed. I suppose it's a little odd introducing myself a second time, though.
What do you mean? You've never met them before, have you?
What are you talking about, Gillian? We're good friends.
Huh? Since when?
It's the first time I've met her in person, but I've spoken with her on the video phone a lot of times.
What? Have you guys been talking about me behind my back?
Yes. Alright, now we have more of this. Worried about Mika. I was telling Mika about how lonely it was being home all the time. He told me that Jamie was always worried about me, so I gave her a video phone call. Okay. Where I knew we came really close, didn't we? By the time I return back, I'll probably have my memory back, but don't worry, I promise to make you happy. I like how I don't have many options in the ending, but still I'm going around in fucking circles. There we go, Jesus. And no memories will change. There we go.
So have they finalized what they're going to do about Junker operations? I suppose this will end up being our last mission, huh?
Well, originally they were planning on disbanding the team, but now they've decided to keep us in business.
So that means...
That's right. We've been designated as one of the government's special police divisions. That puts us above the regular cops.
So the government has decided that crime by machines poses a bigger threat than crime by humans from here on out, huh?
They've chosen the new chief, too. So when you get back, you'll get to meet the new head honcho.
Well, it's comforting to know I've got a place I can come back to.
I've never played Police Nuts, but I don't know if it's a sequel or not to this game. I know it came after it.
Whatever you do, just come home safe, okay?
When you get back from this job, you still have a dinner date to keep with me, you know.
Don't worry. I won't forget my promises to either of you. Oops, almost forgot. Of course, I want to spend some private moments with my wife, too, huh? What's wrong, Jamie?
A dinner date? Not on my watch. Oh,
Harry and I will be waiting for you to get home.
That's Harry's hat.
We can do it this time, Gillian. Not some fake couple like before, but with love and trust.
Yeah.
I know, Jamie.
Yeah.
Take care, Gillian.
Don't name him
see
Harry,
you,
it's
Jamie.
bad luck.
Wait for me! Take me with you, please!
Oh, he's a Sega CD. I forgot this.
Yes, sir. We didn't have a good frame to work with, so this is just a temporary body. Just call me Metal Gear, Sega CD for now.
So they found your memory chip in one piece, eh?
Random protected it from the blast of the beam.
Random, huh? Wait a second. I've heard that sneeze somewhere before.
Really? I didn't hear anything. Anyway, I want to know if you'll take me with you. Please, Gillian, please take me with you.
Hurry up and get on board, partner.
Yes, sir, Gillian.
Them graphics.
Throughout history, suspicion has always bred conflict. The real conflict, though, resides in people's hearts.
Yep, that's very true.
This conflict has just begun.
Or has it? Woo! It was good replaying that. There's definitely a lot of flaws I didn't realize last time I played it. Mainly the fact that the game wants you to play it in a certain way. You really have to exhaust some options. In fact, sometimes you have to do a lot of options multiple times to progress. And the category says it's a visual novel, and I suppose it is a visual novel. Except for that last section. I remember that the most about this game was that last area is brutal. I did do legitimately back a while back without using save states in between, but you know, this is a stream. I don't want to be shooting up for 3 hours. And what's funny is that this walkthrough says that that there's a very long set of scenes after the shooting, and it's about half an hour in length, and I think that's probably about what it was, yeah. Oh, here we go. Frequently asked questions. This is very good. Can you ever go on a date with Mika? No. How come Ivan and or Freddy never get home? They'll always be away until you call Jamie. Those events are the farthest you can put off that contact, ultimately trying to knock on doors and suggestions. For metal, returning home. You didn't look at the window in Gibson's house where Dawes lives. Ivan won't appear as well. In this case, Metal will say something like, nothing we do here, we want to try Gibson's place. Okay. Look at that. Random Habjib, which is whatever that dude's name is backwards. And making a lot of these graphics back then probably took like months of time. Like this is probably just a straight up like on a good development team probably a couple days, but realistically more like a week, maybe 2 weeks. But Snatcher's always got that suspense. It's got a decent story. Funnily enough, later on, this not this company, but this indie developer tried to make a game that was like, oh, this is the new Snatcher, but it just wasn't as good. It just didn't have that Snatcher special sauce that it needed. Female employee? Oh, never mind. Voice actors. I was just like, there's only one female employee and they had to list her. That's not it. It's the voice acting. It's the voice acting. This is real like 90s dentist office. You know, waiting at a dentist office, get some fillings, get a clean up. This is what you're gonna hear, probably. Well, we got into the Snatchers. Makes it seem like a follow-up game was more or less like planned, but I guess it just didn't go through. Because they're talking about getting rid of the main big base of Snatchers. And it ends in kind of a cliff note. Was Police Knots I know it was like his next game. Or his next like big game. Is that it? Produced by Konami Co. Limited. Do I hit enter? Guess so. Up here we go. That's from when Konami's best times, when you saw that logo right there. I think if we want to, we can continue. Yeah, we can go back to Act 3. I saved a whole bunch. Whatever. Well, thanks everyone who stopped on by. Appreciate you. I think I forgot. Yeah, I forgot to change my green screen, but that's all right. What's coming up this week? Hopefully also finishing up Elden Wheel Tuesday or Thursday. Probably the plan is I'm going to go in tomorrow, or I'm going to go in Tuesday, get some attempts on Elden Beast, see how it goes, and then if that doesn't work out, then I'll work towards getting the greater sorcery trinket, and then working our way to maybe Melania. Melania is pretty rough on my character. I've tried it on my test character. It's pretty brutal. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to beat her, but we'll give it a good college try. So yeah, that's what's coming up for Tuesdays and Thursdays. As for what's coming up next Sunday, I don't know. But I always find something interesting to play, like Snatcher. Monday will be After Dark. We'll be playing Pantheon. And maybe, just maybe, we'll be in Ash Breathers for just let me play the end game. The only person who wants to see Ash Breathers, nobody else. Just him. And Friday, Bros for Foes on Saturday Group Live. That will be Night Rain. Again, hopefully we beat the final boss of Night Rain. So we have a lot of things that are really close to finishing. You know, it's like when you're a kid and you have that loose tooth, and it's like it's so close to coming off, but it's hanging on by a thread, and it's painful, but it's so close. That's for we have like 3 or 4 games that are just so close. Well, we finished Snatcher. Snatcher is done. That's one tooth. That's one baby tooth right out. But anyways, that's gonna do it for tonight. I hope everyone has a wonderful Sunday. And enjoy work tomorrow, or don't enjoy your work tomorrow, whatever you do. Bye-bye.